Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's pick a card reading is going to be messages and predictions for your month of March 2025. Just before we get into it, I want to talk about the fundraiser that we're doing and the personal reading giveaway. So if you are interested in that, stick around. Otherwise, there will be timestamps down below where you can skip ahead. So as many of you know, here on this channel, we have been fundraising for Faris, who is a 17-year-old boy in Gaza, and his family. I was matched with Faris through a mutual aid initiative based in Canada called Project Love Brocade. They are no longer taking on new campaign amplifiers, but I will leave their links down below just in case you wanted to check them out and see the work that they did and how they verified their campaigns and things like that. As of now, we have raised, I believe it's $32,000, which is incredible. They are a family of 7, including an infant, so this money has helped them to survive over the past few months, and I'm so extremely grateful that we have been able to raise these funds. Last month, my friend Michael and I did a candle fundraiser, so together we launched this manifestation candle, and in just a few days they were completely sold out. So I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to everybody who purchased a candle. 100% of the sales minus shipping costs were donated, and everybody who purchased a candle had the option of requesting a video message. I got the chance to connect with you one-on-one, whether that was just sending a little thank you or doing a card pull, a mini reading for you, or a message of encouragement. Getting that chance to connect one-on-one, whether it's through the video messages or personal readings, is something that means a lot to me, and I really enjoyed spending that time with you, so thank you so much. This month I'm going to be giving away a 30-minute personal video reading. There are 2 ways that you can enter this giveaway. One is to share Faris's GoFundMe on any platform that you use. Just share the link and that will count as an entry. The other way to enter is to donate any amount to the campaign. I believe GoFundMe's minimum amount is $5, but there's no minimum amount to enter the giveaway. Even if you just share the link, that is very appreciated. So if you have shared or donated to the GoFundMe, you can send a screenshot as proof to kinopersonalreadings@gmail.com. Multiple entries are welcome. This giveaway will be open until the end of the month, so February 28th. And since the last giveaway ended on February 10th, I will accept any entries made from that date. So if you share or donate at any point from February 10th to February 28th, then you can enter this giveaway. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your kind words. It really means a lot. I'm sending you guys so much love. And now let's get on to the reading. Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So I am currently traveling. As you can maybe tell, I'm not in my usual spot and we don't have our usual setup today, but we are going to be doing messages and predictions for your month of March 2025. We're going to start off the reading looking at your month as a whole. So we're going to be seeing the main themes and the main energies, as well as significant events and changes coming your way this month. And then we are going to dive into the specific areas of your life. So we're going to be getting predictions for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth during the month of March. There are 3 groups for you to choose from today, so I'm going to show you each of these crystals up close one by one, and please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. Number 1 is Carnelian. Number 2 is Caribbean Calcite. And number 3 is Sodalite. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s. So if you guys chose the Carnelian, this is going to be a reading all about your month of March 2025. I just wanted to share a couple of intuitive messages that came through before we get into your cards. The first one is that I was seeing the colors orange and yellow, so these could be significant to you. These could be somebody's favorite colors, you or someone close to you. It could be pertaining to the sacral and solar plexus chakras. It could be the color of somebody's aura or colors that you've been seeing frequently. And something else that came to my mind is that it could even be the colors in a country's flag that are significant to you, orange and yellow. The other thing that was coming through was this energy of being very still to allow something to come towards you. And I saw this analogy of when you want an animal to approach you. So maybe you hold out some food or something and you sit there very quietly, you don't make sudden movements, and then slowly but surely the animal starts to approach you and trust you. So for many of you, I do believe this is metaphorical in the sense that stillness, gentleness, and patience would be the best way to make something that you want come towards you. Yeah. So that's what I was seeing for the intuitive messages. Let's get into your cards now. We are going to start with this oracle card from the Guidance of Gaia Oracle. And this is going to represent your main theme for the month of March. And for my group number ones, we have the Guidance of the Snail, number 45, and each card has an element associated with it. I believe this is the spirit element, which is very interesting. We have an affirmation on this card that says, I embrace the joy in the journey. I celebrate the moment. I am here now. So I think group number one, your theme for the month of March is presence. It seems like you are really, and I want to say intentionally, you are intentionally slowing down or embracing slowness, and you are completely present in the month of March. It seems like you are not worrying yourself with thinking ahead to what's going on next month or what you have to do by the end of the season or the end of the year. You are just fully here and now and enjoying every step of your journey. Also, this is kind of funny because I wouldn't be saying this message if I hadn't seen this. I think it was actually yesterday. I saw this video of a slug drinking water and it like approaches the drop of water and then the drop of water like engulfs it. So when I saw the snail, I thought back to that video, and there could be a message in there for you about immersion being another theme of your month of March. Like you are completely immersing yourself in a new environment, in something that you want to learn, in a new language, in a new practice. Immersing yourself in an experience, and okay, it's coming through like you're not picking and choosing certain aspects of the experience that you want to have, but you're embracing the experience as a whole and everything that that comes with, so that you can have the most authentic experience possible. So let's read from the guidebook what your snail says. This is actually my first time using this deck, so I wanted to use the guidebook. It's very pretty. Okay. Yes, this is the element of spirit, and it says environmental. So maybe that message of immersing yourself in a new environment is for a lot of you. Okay. Guidance of the Snail is on page 157 and 158. Comfort, protection, yielding. The snail has arrived in your life with the gifts of patience and protection, reminding you to be more present in and accepting of the current moment. There is no rush or time frame tied to your goals, but rather a self-imposed schedule that may be stressing you out. The snail invites you to reevaluate your goals to ensure that you still feel aligned to your path. Retreat into your home for protection and find comfort in the slower pace. Change is upon you, but if you miss the journey and hurry to the outcome, you are missing the true reward. Those who naturally identify with the snail tend to work very slowly and methodically, paying attention to details that others miss. By focusing on your craft, you maintain a high standard for all that you do. If this is not how you approach things, the snail is asking you to pay more attention to the details. Additionally, snail is housed in a nautilus shell, which is composed of sacred geometry, connecting to both the grounding earth energy and the spiritual realms. Remember that everything is in the right order and all is connected to the oneness of the universe and the divine plan. The shadow side of this card is stuck, fearful, frozen. The illuminated side is settled, accomplished, focused. To bring into alignment, divide your priorities into manageable blocks of time to create steady progress forward. And then this is the same affirmation that's on the card. This was really standing out to me. There is no rush or time frame tied to your goals, but rather a self-imposed schedule that may be stressing you out. Maybe that's just because I needed to hear that, because I'm always like setting deadlines for myself, or like, I need to do this by this time. And you know, real deadlines do exist in this world, but we don't need to exacerbate that stress by imposing them on ourselves. Another thing that I wanted to say that was coming through is that, and maybe this is just for a few of you, if there's something that you need to get done by the end of March, I would encourage you to really take the whole month to get it done. So for example, even if you finished it by March 15th, before you submit it, take your time, because you have the whole month allotted to you. Why not use all of it? Maybe set it aside, come back to it at a later date, make some more tweaks, really perfect it. And maybe that's not even just for March, just in general. I think Spirit is encouraging you to take all of the time that you are allotted for something and really sit with and understand that there is no rush. Okay, so let's look at some more oracle cards for your main themes and energies of the month of March. We have a short trip away, deep relaxation. Wow, I love how that goes together. We're slowing down, we're taking a vacation of some kind, even if it's just mental. Like you could literally be staying at home, but giving yourself a mental vacation. For some of you, this is confirmation that you will be traveling in the month of March, or maybe you're encouraged to go on a short trip. And it doesn't even need to be anywhere super far away, but I really believe that having a change of scenery can do wonders for us, especially with reframing the things that we're always worried about. Getting out of your day-to-day environment can help to show you what is not really that pressing, what is not really that urgent, or I dare say, what is not really that serious. It kind of just takes you out of that everyday mindset where you're so used to thinking about and worrying about and prioritizing the same, oh man, I wanted to say the same crap, which that's no judgment on what you're prioritizing, but I do think that maybe if it's coming through that way, some of you have really been worrying about and prioritizing stuff that is not serving you, that is not making you happy, and it's just adding crappy energy to your life. I am noticing that there's a person and a dog in this carriage, so some of you could be like traveling with an animal or traveling to see an animal or to pick up an animal, I'm hearing. I give myself time and space for healing and renewal. I love it. We also have Moonstone with cycles. Okay, something about dream travel and dream work is coming up with the Moonstone. So you could be doing some pretty cool work in the dream realms, like healing work, healing for yourself or for others. Even manifestation work. With this cycles here, I do feel like this is tying into the overall message of you embracing a slower pace this month and understanding that it's not always going to be this way. We have our cycles, we have our fluctuations. So there's going to be other months this year, I'm sure, where things are more fast paced and more highly strung and like the energy's calling for you to show up that way. But this is really not one of those months. Interesting, like moon is tied to months because the cycle of the moon is roughly a month. That's probably where the word month comes from, because it sounds a lot like moon. I don't know, someone can let me know if that's true, but even like in Chinese and Japanese language, the character for month and moon is the same. But anyway, enough about that. There could be something about a monthly cycle, like tapping into the fluctuation of energies, or just embracing the different energies of each month as they come and not thinking too far ahead about, you know, what's it going to be like in a month from now, in 3 months from now. Like, we will feel the energies when we get there. And wherever we are now, the energy that we need to be feeling is that of the present moment. Speaking of moons, for your Moonology card, we have the new moon in Cancer. You and your loved ones are safe. And that's a really beautiful way to tie up this message. Oh, by the way, 11:11 on the timer as I'm revealing this card. That's a beautiful message to tie this all up, because in an increasingly fast-paced society, I do feel like in order to slow down and embrace this energy, you need to feel safe to do that, because that fear is always dangled over us. Like, if you slow down, you're going to fall behind. You're going to fall off the wagon. You're going to miss something. And the snail says, no, you don't get to decide that, actually, because wherever I am is where I'm meant to be. And the most interesting place is wherever I am. The most interesting time is wherever I am right now. That's the most important. New moon in Cancer, that is not happening in the month of March, but I am going to check what dates the moon will be in Cancer, because those could be important dates for you. So in March, the moon is going to be in Cancer between the 7th and the 9th. Or it could be between the 8th and the 10th if you are in the Eastern Hemisphere. But yeah, let's say between the 7th and the 10th, roughly, those dates will be significant for you. And someone with Cancer placements could also be significant to you, whether that's yourself or someone else. Okay, so next we are going to look at our tea leaf cards to see if there's anything else you need to know about the main events of the month. We have Dragon, beware of self-delusion. Okay, the very first thing I'm thinking of is that just this past year, 2024, was the year of the dragon. I wonder if this card is saying beware about falling into, beware of falling into judging yourself for things that transpired in the past. And also beware of falling into this trap of thinking that things were better in the past. Things were so much better back then. Like, reminiscing on the past with fondness is one thing, but be careful about romanticizing the past, because you may be selectively, that's interesting. You may be selectively romanticizing the past as a way to judge yourself now. Because I feel like maybe there's this critical part of you, this is just for a few of you actually, there's this critical part of you that is judging you like you fell off. And remembering, I was so much better in the past, but that is a selective romanticization of the past. This could also be happening with a relationship. I was going through a little bit of this recently where I was like not heavily, because there were good aspects of that relationship, but I was romanticizing all the good things and just not being very objective in how I viewed it. Yeah, just be careful of doing that, because your theme is presence and being in the present moment. And a lot of that is, yes, not worrying about the future, but also making sure we're not dwelling in the past or romanticizing it. We also have Throne, position of authority. I wonder if there's beware of who you give authority to determine the path you take, to determine the speed at which you go down that path. You might, with self-delusion, there might be a part of you that thinks you're in control, but there's a little bit of conditioning going on. I almost even wanted to say brainwashing. I've noticed this in my own life too, where I'm feeling really anxious to get to a certain point by a certain time. I'm feeling really anxious to reach a goal. And I genuinely believe that that's my own will and that I'm doing it for myself. But upon further reflection, I realized that no, something else or someone else has planted that seed in my brain, but they've done it so sneakily that I genuinely believe it's my own will to rush and make myself stressed out. So be careful who you're giving the authority to control your thoughts. And I feel like this delusion is you thinking it's yourself. I don't know, only take that if it resonates, okay? Because even I don't have the authority to tell you like what's going on in your mind, but that is just one interpretation that I saw. And then finally, we have scissors, disappointment in some affair. And the scissor says we're cutting it out. At least that's how I'm seeing it. Some of you could be cutting ties with an authority figure, or this could be more energetic in the sense of for so long I've let this have authority over my thoughts and the choices that I make. For so long I've given this power over me, and now I'm choosing to cut that off. Yeah. The initials or the letters D, T, and S could be significant in some way. I'm thinking of Tuesday. I don't know. And it doesn't have to be all of them, by the way. It could be like just one is a significant initial or letter in someone's name or the name of a place. Also M for moonstone, C. Anyway, this concludes the general overview part of the reading. And as I'm wrapping up this part, the time is at 1717, which is the number of the star. So a message from Spirit is that in a certain endeavor or on your current path, things are going to turn out better than you expected. It feels like the expectation versus reality is going to be so good because I feel like some of you are going down this path and you're expecting that the outcome is going to be less than what you wanted or worse than what you wanted. And it's actually going to be much, much better. Okay, so for the specific areas of your life, we have one tarot card and one oracle card each for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. So let's start off with your love life and relationships. For your tarot card, we have the Eight of Cups, and it's in the upright. This card has like both, so I'm going to use it however it comes out. And your Eight of Cups is in the upright position. It says walking away. Guitars could be significant, or string instruments, violin, cello, bass, ukulele, I don't know. Release what doesn't serve you, emotionally unfulfilled, time to move on, and letting go. I wonder, some of you could quite literally be walking away from a relationship or a connection, or this could be talking about this energy of not letting someone have control over you anymore. Some of you could be becoming less accessible, being more mindful and more selective about who gets access to you. So it's like a very, very few people who get full access. Most people are getting limited access. You could be, it's just like people don't need to know where I am. People don't need to know what I'm doing. If I say no to plans, people don't need to know what I'm actually doing. They just need to know that I'm not going. And for the past few months, this energy has been coming up a lot, just for the collective, like people being more private and just, being more selective with how they share their energy. For your oracle card, we have centering with the keyword align. The trigger statement is, I feel conflicted. The true statement is, I am true to my highest self. Your focus needs to turn within to reflect on stories that are not true for you. Love is the way through. Okay, this is really a shift that you are going through. And I think that when it comes to relationships, we are actually just looking at your relationships with others as a whole. 2025 on the camera timer as I'm saying that. So maybe this is a theme for your year. The way you're shifting in terms of how you're showing up in relationships. There's you and the other. And when the other's truth or the other's narrative doesn't resonate with you, I feel like in the past you would try to like bend yourself out of shape and twist yourself to fit that other person's narrative. And how can I accommodate that? And how can I like mold that into my own? How can I make space for this person's narrative? Whereas now you're in this more selective energy and you're so in tune. This is what it is. You're so in tune with your own truth and your own narrative that like it just feels way too, it's impossible to betray it at this point. And so if someone else's is not resonating with you or not agreeing with you, you're like, okay, then I don't need to engage with that. I don't need to make space for that. If that's not my truth and that's not the world I'm living in. Yes. Okay, it's all coming together now because this energy of feeling like all of this stress and anxiety is coming from you, but it's actually coming from others around you. I feel like for a long time, you've thought that you're in an inner conflict with yourself. That's how you've been framing it. But you're going to find that when you really center yourself and get in touch with your pure, authentic energy, with your essence, it doesn't feel conflicted. It feels very aligned. It feels very peaceful. And all of this conflict was like others' priorities and others' narratives that snuck into your head so sneakily that it felt like it was coming from you. This is a month of really ridding yourself of those sneaky energies that masquerade as you, that masquerade as your own inner voice, like telling you what to do, telling you which path to choose, telling you how to present yourself. And you're like, no, that was not coming from me. And the more you center in your own authentic energy, it's going to become so easy to discern whose energy is not for you. And this is going to affect your relationships as a whole. All the bad vibes going away. And when I say bad vibes, I just mean not aligned with you. So yes, who you engage with, who you grant access to you, you know what I'm trying to say. I feel like that's going to become a lot more selective and you're going to feel so good. It's going to remove a lot of stress from your life. Okay, for your career and studies, your tarot card is, okay, so we have the 5 of Wands in reverse. I'm noticing both of these are Saturn cards, so Saturn energy could be significant. The keyword is harmony restored. Harmony, situations resolved, finding common ground, cooperation, and solutions. Soccer could be significant, or like sports, athletic, physical activity, exercise, that kind of thing. But this is a pretty straightforward and a lovely message to receive when it comes to career and studies. So if there have been any conflicts in the workplace or at school, this is going to be resolved. If you're working in a team, I feel like that's going to flow really smoothly. And just in general, this is a month where you're really going to be in the flow. Like your workflow feels really smooth. I'm hearing the phrase without a hitch. I don't necessarily know what that means, but like things passing without a hitch. Let me see. I'm going to look it up. What does without a hitch mean? To go as planned, to happen without difficulties. Oh, and the example sentence is, the wedding went off without a hitch. We were lucky not to encounter any problems. Maybe someone's having a wedding or going to a wedding. But yeah, anything big that you have planned, that's going to go without a hitch, without any problems, any teamwork, or even just your individual workflow. I feel like everything's going very smoothly. Everything's going to be finished on time. And I can feel your spirit guides being like, see, you were so afraid to slow down, and look, everything got done on time anyway. And it probably got done with better quality, because when you slow down, crazy thing happens. You are not stressed and anxious, and you can do better quality work. Situations resolve. The specific wording coming through is a dispute. There could be a dispute that is being resolved where either both parties are happy or you're happy. Like either way, it's going to work in your favor. If I don't know, if you filed a complaint or a dispute or something like that, it's going to work out in your favor. A request you put in could be accepted. Request for time off, request for an extension, request for a redo of something, like taking an exam over or something like that, is going to be accepted. And I do feel like this is a month where you're going to feel the spirit of teamwork. Like you could be finishing up a really big project or presenting something in a group, and it's just everybody's doing their job, everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and that makes it flow really well. I'm also hearing the phrase, it takes a village. So like there's a large group of people working towards a common goal, and this month everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing. And it feels kind of moving. Like, wow, look at this amazing big stuff we can pull off when everybody is cooperating and everybody's like honoring their role. It's really nice. And then for your oracle card, we have monthly. So there's that monthly stuff coming up again. I don't know what that's referring to. The keyword is receptivity. The trigger statement is I am guarded. The true statement is my heart is open. This is a time for you to receive new information. Open your heart to receive it. We were talking a little bit about monthly cycles before. Maybe some of you could be observing and honoring how your productivity, focus, what you are interested in changes throughout a monthly cycle. I also think that openness, receptivity is going to be the precursor for this harmony and teamwork. So you're in a team that has a potential to work really, really well together. But before that happens, some walls need to be let down when it comes to like being open about what you're struggling with or what you need help with. Okay, so finally we have your cards for spiritual and personal growth. Ooh, I like this. Your tarot card is the Nine of Cups in the upright. Emotional fulfillment, completely content. That's your spiritual and personal growth this month, is you are completely content. Wishes come true, feeling good, full, happy, satisfied. This is the energy that you're embracing in March. You and your loved ones are safe. You will get everything done that you need to get done, even if you slow down, even if you allow yourself to take a break. It's all going to get done. We're not worried. Your oracle card is lavender with the keyword balance. The trigger statement is no one understands me. The true statement is I ask for what I need. I feel like these go together. Like trigger statements, no one understands me, so I'm guarded. And then the true statement is my heart is open. I ask for what I need. Yeah, you're doing a lot of rethinking, I think, about who you let in and in what ways you let people in. Because when it comes to this, we don't want our walls to be too high and too impermeable. And of course, we don't want to have no walls at all, because then anyone can access us. Maybe it's like you've been And just take this if it resonates. It might be for a few of you. You might be coming to a realization that you've been looking for connection and openness in the wrong places. And when I say in the wrong places, I just mean in a way that doesn't serve you or in a way that doesn't contribute to your growth. Giving people access to you who stress you out in the name of self-growth and self-improvement, but really it's just stressing you out and affecting your self-esteem. And then at the same time, maybe not letting in people who can genuinely help you and genuinely want to connect with you. Maybe we were trying to, car honking, confirmation. Maybe we're trying to gain approval from some people over here who were only making us feel worse and worse. Meanwhile, there was these people over here who are already like readily and warmly accepting and loving us. And so it's like, why don't we go over here and let these people in? So being selective about who you let in doesn't just mean I'm going to stop letting all these people in. It also means maybe I should let these people in instead. So it's not about shutting yourself off. It's about that discernment and recognizing who or what actually makes me feel better. Because at the end of the day, that's what you deserve. What actually makes me feel better? We have Saturn energy was coming up twice. Pisces energy was coming up twice as well. Saturn is currently in the sign of Pisces, and it is going to be for another year. So perhaps this is like an ongoing theme for you. Maybe that's something that Saturn in Pisces is doing for you. It makes sense because Saturn does represent boundaries, and you get to choose what they are. And maybe it sounds so obvious, right? You get to choose what your boundaries are, but sometimes we don't really act that way. And we look around outside of us like, what should my boundaries be? And even that is like not honoring your boundaries, ironically. You get to choose what they are at the end of the day. And you can choose them such that you let in things that make you feel better. I feel like I'm saying things that are so obvious. Maybe it's one of those things where you have an epiphany and it's the most just like simple shit. And you're like, oh yeah, I get to choose what my boundaries are. Oh yeah, I get to choose things that make me feel better. Like if something's making me feel like shit or someone, I don't have to engage with it. It sounds so simple, but sometimes that's really hard to actually put into practice. And I think, just me personally, Kino, I think a lot of the time it has to do with what we think we deserve. I struggled with anxiety for a long time because I didn't think I deserved to feel better. And that's, that's a whole can of worms. So we're not going to get into it here. But I think, that's not going to be the case for everyone. But I do think that sometimes feeling better just comes down to believing that we deserve to feel better and that we deserve to choose things that make us feel good. And that's definitely a place that you're reaching and something you're embodying in March. And I do love that we have the message of wishes come true as well, because we did see that 1717, the number of the star, which is also a wish fulfillment card. So just know, and this is not even just for March group number 1, just know that you can go at any pace that feels good for you and your wishes are still going to come true. Your wishes aren't running away from you, by the way. You don't have to chase them because they're not running away from you. They're just standing right here. And so you can approach them at any pace you want. I'm just thinking back to that visual of like holding out food and the animal is slowly approaching, slowly gaining trust. And I wonder if in that analogy, some of you are actually the animal. And this is like spirit holding out your wish. And spirit is gaining your trust slowly but surely. Like, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to take this away from you. I'm not going to make any sudden changes. It's right here. And you're slowly inching towards it. And you can go as slow or fast or whatever as you want to. And so with that being said, why wouldn't you choose a pace that feels good? Your wishes are not running away from you, so you don't need to chase them. Okay, group number one, those are all the messages that I have for you. I am wishing you a wonderful month of March, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where we now have over 100 exclusive timeless readings, just like the ones we do here on my channel. And we also have 2 new ones every month, and you get to choose the topic for those. So I will have that link down below. It's a great time over there. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I will also have my latest release link down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, to anyone who appeared in this reading, to their higher self, and to your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hi, number 2s. So if you guys chose the Caribbean Calcite, this is going to be a reading all about your month of March 2025. We are going to start off with this oracle card here. This is from the Guidance from Gaia Oracle, and this is going to represent your main theme for the month. So for my group number 2s, we have guidance of the skunk, we have the element of fire, and we have the number 21, which could be significant for you. And the affirmation is, I choose my battles carefully and with self-respect. This is my first time using this oracle deck, so I do want to look in the guidebook and see what the skunk has to say for us. Number 21. Okay, so the element of fire is associated with mental energy, and the skunk is actually the first card of the fire element. And the keywords are effectiveness, boundaries, and vigilance. This guide of Gaia is the messenger of resourcefulness. 111 on the camera timer. It takes days for the skunk to refill their glands after spraying, so they wisely use their defenses only when necessary. The skunk has crossed your path today as a reminder to be aware of where you are standing your ground, and asks you to not make such a stink about things you cannot control. Look to where you are ignoring your own instincts. Are you blindly charging forward in a rigorous mindset, ignoring others' attempts to support you? Asking for help is not a weakness but a strength, and distinguishing threats from opportunities will serve you well. Just as baby skunks are blind for the first few weeks of life, you too may be blind to the support that is trying to come in. The skunk also asks you to be more confident in your interactions with the people in your life. Study these connections and identify the ones that feel joyful, balanced, and rewarding. Guided by the skunk, use your strength to protect yourself and warn of danger. It is time to see your worth and own your power, not by asserting dominance, but by being an example of what you stand for, demonstrating self-respect through your daily actions. The shadow side of this card is defensive, condescending, judgmental. The illuminated side is courageous, self-confident, empowered. To bring into alignment, raise a stink to make right something that is wrong. And then the affirmation is the same one that's on the card. This passage is on pages 105 and 106, in case that is significant for some of you. Reading that passage, it reminds me a lot of the 7 of Wands in tarot. It's like, you got that fire in you, you got that spunk, you can defend yourself when necessary. But the 7 of Wands says, choose your battles wisely, be careful of making a stink, as the guidebook said, or of burning out too much of your energy where it may not necessarily be needed. It also reminds me of the Mars in Leo energy, which is associated with the 7 of Wands. There's this feeling of knowing when it's personal and knowing when it's not personal. The example that I'm being shown, and honestly, this is just one example, this can pertain to so many different situations, is like someone who's scrolling on social media, and you know, the way the algorithms are right now, we barely see the things that our friends and people we actually follow are sharing anymore, and we just see random people's content. So you could be scrolling and some random person has a take that you don't like and it's triggering you, and you feel the need to make a stink, maybe like argue with this person, or even just allow yourself to get mad and frustrated and get in your head about what this person is saying, when at the end of the day, like, we don't know this person, we're never gonna meet them, they don't know us, it's not personal. Like, what they're saying in the context of our life literally does not matter. It's just someone talking shit to a phone. Like, but I feel like our brain is not built to have these kind of interactions like on social media. Like, our brain did not evolve fast enough to like understand, and so we do get triggered. And this can even be in person, like when someone says something you don't agree with, or that like you find yourself getting pissed off, or you find yourself getting offended, and it's like, does this really have anything to do with me? Or like, do I really need to use my energy to like say something and fight with this person? And sometimes the answer will be yes, and that's why you have your skunk sprayer. But a lot of the time the answer is no, and you can preserve your energy for better things. I do feel called to say, if you feel called to check this, or maybe you already know, to see where Mars is transiting your birth chart during the month of March. I believe it's in the sign of Cancer right now. So maybe you know off the top of your head, like which house Cancer is in your birth chart, because that could be indicating an area of your life where you might be feeling more friction. You may be feeling more like worked up. And if you do feel the need to stand up for yourself in certain situations, you are equipped to do that, and you deserve to do that. But I feel like Spirit is hinting that a lot of that energy could be channeled into other things that truly benefit you. And sometimes the best way you can show someone that they're full of shit is just like not engaging with them, not giving them the engagement. I'm also hearing not giving them the satisfaction. So maybe some of you have people around you who like intentionally try to get a reaction out of you, or try to get you riled up. Interesting. We're not falling for it this month though. Okay, so let's look at some more of our oracle cards to see your main themes of the month. Be kind to yourself and everyone you meet today. The people I meet are a reflection of my shining soul. You're choosing kindness this month. I'm hearing that phrase, kill them with kindness. Okay, yeah, there's like a situation where someone's, and the rooster is making me think this for some reason, like someone's trying to get a response out of you, and you either don't engage or you respond with kindness, and then that gets them riled up. So it's like this poetic justice where like they were trying to get you worked up and they just end up working themselves up. Like, I don't know, you're arguing with yourself, you're beefing with yourself. I'm not involved in this. This is about recognizing what you're not involved in, and what is not personal, and what is not your business, and what you don't have to engage with. And you can just go along your merry way, continuing to choose kindness, because like this has nothing to do with you. I feel like you're not giving in to those things that maybe once triggered you or once got you in a mood. And I feel like you have a lot more control over your mood and your inner peace and just your overall mental well-being, because this skunk card being related to the element of fire, as the guidebook said, it is all about your mental. And I feel like you're just in a really good place mentally. You're at peace, you're unbothered, and not a lot can bother you because it's just not worth it, and it's not relevant. Yeah, exactly. We also, yeah, you're protecting yourself from the bullshit. What have you been going through, group number 2? I'm really sorry, like if this is your group and you're resonating with it and you felt this energy of BS around you and like people testing your patience, because that's really hard. But there seems to be a level of mastery that is going on with you where you're able to keep the bad vibes away. And if they ever do come to visit, you're like, I'm not entertaining that. And let me be very clear that this is not the same thing as spiritual bypassing, because spiritual bypassing is when you ignore something that is yours to carry, that is yours to process and address. And whatever you're banishing here, it was never your problem to begin with. You're not letting others' BS or the BS out in the world mess with your peace that you worked so hard to cultivate, and you are completely within your rights to do that. And this black tourmaline is confirming that energetically you are protected. And I really love, there's a lot of different animals here, but I love that so many of them are black, like the black tourmaline, because that is a color that makes me think, whoop, that's a confirmation that you are protected. I was just about to say that is a color that really makes me think of protection. A lot of black crystals have that effect, like protection, grounding, banishing the negative energies. There could be a black animal, a black spirit animal, a black companion animal who is aiding in protecting you and guiding you during this time. We also have a really pretty blue showing up on these birds, and a little blue bird in the wizard's hat. So blue animals, or just the color blue, could be significant to you as well. But I feel like black is really going to be your lucky color. Maybe even wearing black could increase your confidence or help you to feel more protected. And then finally, we have a step out of your comfort zone with the North Node. Okay, so you're feeling interesting. Okay, I was going to say for some of you, this is about you feeling safe and protected enough to step out of your comfort zone. But for some of you, in a weird way, protecting and prioritizing your own comfort is out of your comfort zone. Maybe it feels selfish to you to do so. Maybe it feels unnatural to do so. And so in a kind of ironic way, like being in your comfort zone makes you uncomfortable. So this could actually be about embracing your comfort zone and embracing your comfort. Also, North Node in Western astrology, a lot of the time we talk about our destiny and our life purpose. And so I wonder if many of you are currently embarking on a journey towards your life purpose. And this is Spirit saying, like, look, if we're going to move forward and move towards your life purpose, we're going to need a lot of energy focused on that. So that means you need to keep your energy protected. And we can't be doing all these petty side quests. This is an energy of locking in and refusing to get distracted by trivial things. I'm going to check what the moon is doing, because the North Node is currently in Pisces. So I feel like perhaps, wait, is there an eclipse? Wait a minute. Eclipse March 2025. Oh, okay, yeah, March 29th, solar eclipse. Yes, okay, so the moon is going to be in Pisces from the 26th to the 28th. It could be the 27th to the 29th if you're in the Eastern Hemisphere. So roughly, I'll say for everybody, the dates between the 26th and the 29th could be significant for you. And then there is a solar eclipse on the 29th. So that in particular could be very powerful for you in terms of reclaiming your energy, locking in any sort of illuminations or epiphanies about your life purpose, and then having the mental clarity and drive to really focus on that and just not let anything else steal your energy away. This is a really empowering energy. Blue eyes could be significant as well. I don't know if I mentioned that, but the color blue was coming out as significant. Somebody with blue eyes, could even be black eyes. Some people have black eyes. You could be meeting someone with very striking eyes that turns out to be important. Okay, let's look at your tea leaf cards to see anything else that you need to know about the month ahead. We have hammock, taking a vacation physically or mentally. Oh, group number 1 got a message like that as well. Taking a mental vacation. I do feel like when you're getting into the habit of embracing this new mindset, it can feel hard. It can feel like a lot of work, but once you get it down, it's gonna make, I wanna say the rest of your life, it's gonna make the rest of your life so much easier. Just, that's not my business, and I'm in my own lane, and I'm working on my own life purpose, and I suggest you do too. We also have flute, disappointment in a friend or lover. And we have grapes, time to go out and have fun. Okay, I feel like some of you are gonna just make the decision to stop dealing with someone in the month of March. This is kind of similar to group number 1's energy. They were having a few similar messages like this. I don't know if you guys were drawn to group number 1. This might be your sign to check out the messages there if you feel called to, or maybe you're coming from group number 1, in which case, hello, welcome back. But when I look at all of these together, it just feels like, you really saw the potential in someone, in a friend, in a love interest, could have even been a family member, where you're like, yeah, you have a lot of problems, but I know that you can change. Like, I know that deep down you're a good person, and like if you would only heal and work through your shit, our relationship could be so good. And it feels like you really believed in their potential and who they could become. And it seems like this person has let you down. And the really hard realization is that that's their choice. And I can't, they're going to be who they want to be. They're going to choose to evolve or not evolve how they see fit. And I have to let them do that. And so I think there is healing for you here in owning your disappointment and then letting go. So you could be letting go of a connection, or just coming to terms with the fact that you can't expect much from somebody, even though you know deep down they can change. It's like you can't expect that of them. You're coming to terms with that. Maybe March is the month where this stops being hard for you. Maybe you'd been grieving what the connection could have been, and now in March the energy is starting to feel lighter, and you really do feel like you can move on, because we do have the message time to go out and have fun and taking a vacation. So it does feel like you've moved on from it, and you can accept how it is now, and know deep down that you're moving on to better, more aligned things and more aligned connections for you. In terms of letters or initials that could be significant, we have H, F, and G. I'll also take B, T, and P. So these could be letters in someone's name. They could be someone's initials, letters in a significant place. Also, we did mention Pisces. So Pisces placements could be significant. If I remember correctly, when I was looking at the moon app, those dates I mentioned, the moon's going to be in Pisces and Aries. So Pisces and Aries placements could be significant. Those are also the seasons that we're going to have in March, Pisces and Aries. Happy birthday, by the way, if you are a March Pisces or a March Aries, or if someone close to you is, happy birthday to them. So this concludes the general overview part of the reading. So we're going to move into the specific areas of your life now. I have one tarot card and one oracle card each for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. So let's start off with your love life and relationships. For your tarot card, we have the 5 of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, judging from the keywords, this is in the reverse. I am going to keep it in the reverse because that's how it came out. Shifting the energy, variety, change it up, adapt, conquer self-doubt, embrace change, do it differently, make amends, and unexpected surprises. We also have Venus in Aquarius here, so you or someone close to you could have that placement. We were just talking about Pisces and Aries people, so some of you could be or have someone close to you who is a Pisces with Venus in Aquarius or an Aries with Venus in Aquarius. Interestingly, the Five of Swords it can talk about conflict resolution, making amends, or the energy shifting in a connection. So we had that message for some of you about, oh man, is this going to get confusing? I think this is going to have to be one that you interpret with your own intuition, because I'm seeing two different ways that this could play out. For some of you, like I said, there's a person that you're disappointed with because like they're not changing, they're not healing, or the connection is not progressing. And so for some of you, this is going to play out that you let this person go, and then them being, first of all, them feeling your absence and them being on their own to work through their own stuff is going to allow them to finally heal and evolve. So some of you were in a dynamic where that person actually needed space and maybe needed to feel you distancing yourself so that they could start, car honking is confirmation, so that they could start growing and healing on their own. And this feels very like, if you love someone, let them go. And if it's meant to be, they will come back. But there's something about you distancing yourself that I think is very important. Maybe it leads to certain realizations for them. Maybe that helps them finally just rely on themselves and introspect on their own. They need that time and space, and then they're able to come back and show up in a stronger way, in a better way. So yeah, for some of you, it's the same person that you're letting go of, and then they're coming back and the dynamic shifts. For others of you, this could be different people. So maybe there's one person that you're choosing to let go of, and then that creates space for a new person to come in with a very different dynamic, like someone who is, I want to say someone who is self-aware, someone who is actively working on their healing. And they don't need to be completely healed, but as long as you're both actively working on your healing, you can grow and progress together. So I will leave this up to your intuition. If you feel like it's the same person who's going to have distance with you, you're going to heal on your own and come back together. Or if you just like are letting go of this person for good and making space for a new person to come in. Of course, if you're not sure which one it is, you can let time tell. But yeah, I can see it playing out one of those two ways. And then for your oracle card, we have patchouli with the keyword earthly. The trigger statement is, I hate my body. The true statement is, my body is a temple. Remember that you are a spiritual being having an earthly experience. Revere your loyal, sacred body. I love that. So one relationship that is really going to be improving in the month of March is your relationship with yourself, more specifically, your relationship with your physical body, your vessel, and appreciating everything that it does for you. And I also think you're going to start to be kinder to your human self, your human body's needs and wants and comforts, like we were talking about. I think sometimes we think of the human as this less evolved and like deeply flawed thing, and the soul transcends all flaws and it's perfect. And I mean, I guess in some ways you could say it's more intelligent or more wise. You could argue that, but the physical body is also extremely wise, and your physical body loves you. And I think this month you're starting to honor both your soul and your body and see them as equal. Ooh, okay. You're starting to honor both your soul and body and see them as equal. And for those of you who had a tendency of transcending or wanting to transcend the 3D so that you could live in the 5D, you're not doing that anymore. Being in your body might actually help you to make the decision that you need to make with a connection that is disappointing you. The more you're in your head, and it's ironic because you're in your head because you're trying to think things over. You're trying to analyze, you're trying to come to a conclusion. But the more you go in your head, the more detached you actually are from the wisdom that's going to let you know what to do, because that wisdom is in your body. This is not a situation that you navigate with like through analysis. You have to be in your body and see how your body feels. You're coming to terms with the fact that you cannot transcend your body, or that enlightenment and awakening. It's not about transcending the physical. It's about honoring both and existing in both. Some of you could be ignoring what a connection is in the 3D because of what it is in the 5D, or what you know it can be, like based on what you see in the 5D. And this is your reminder that you need to live in both, and you need to find peace in both. And if your human vessel is not doing well because a connection is making you anxious, like you can't just transcend that and be like an awakened spiritual person is like, it's okay because it's all good in the 5D. Like 3D you has to be happy too. Your body and your nervous system has to be happy too. And if being in a connection is fucking with your nervous system, or making you in your head, or making you worry, I wanted to say it's never going to be worth it. And that's a really absolute statement, but that's what I felt like saying. Okay, so next we are going to look at your cards for career and studies. So for your tarot card, we have the Hierophant in reverse, which says non-conforming, unconventional life choices, alternative lifestyles, freedom, challenge the status quo, and think for yourself. So this is a pretty straightforward message that in your career and studies, you will be rewarded if you do something in the unconventional way. So for some of you, this is a confirmation and a message of reassurance that if you have an approach to your work or studies that is a little eccentric, quote unquote, just not like how the others do it. If you have a path that you want to follow that is unconventional, give yourself permission to go down that path, because not only are you going to be happy when you stay true to yourself, but you will find great rewards there. Some of you may find a teacher or a mentor who is kind of eccentric, and they teach things that are different from, well, yeah, that's what non-conforming means. They teach things that are different from the norm, or they're teething. Is someone teething like a baby? Their teaching methods could be kind of unorthodox, but you learn a lot from them. I don't know, it feels like someone has a teaching method where you're like, this isn't going to help me learn, and then it does. You could also find success just foregoing the teacher altogether, because a Hierophant does represent a teacher. That's one of the things it can represent. And in the reverse, maybe it means no teacher. Maybe you can do something self-studied, or this is also a month where just go with what feels right to you. You could get advice from your teachers, from your boss, from your authority figures. This is how you should do it. And then you're like, thanks for that advice, but I'm going to do something different. Maybe you're going to do the opposite of what they said. If you feel in your gut that what you should do is something that goes against a lot of people's advice, that's okay. Not conforming is going to work in your favor this month. For your oracle card, we have Vetiver. The keyword is reconnect. Trigger statement, I need to escape. True statement, I am present. Wow, a lot of this month is about grounding for you, being present with yourself. The root of the issue for you will make itself known. Be open to the information you receive from your body, mind, and environment. Yeah. Your theme for the month is reconnecting with yourself for sure. Maybe you're not looking outside of you so much for answers anymore because you trust in your own competency when it comes to your workflow, when it comes to how you study, how you learn, how you memorize things, how you improve in your skills. You know, maybe I don't know, this is just one example, right? But maybe someone's exercising and they're trying to build their fitness and they're looking at all these resources, or, you know, their personal trainer says this and that. And like, yes, there is a science to it, but there's also the wisdom of your body. And maybe you find like, I know all the advice is saying this, but actually I feel much better when I do it this way. I feel much stronger when I do it this way. And that really is the final filter. Once you take in all that advice, the final filter is, what does my body say? Like, does this feel right to me? Does studying in chunks of this much time feel right? Do I actually feel like I'm improving? Because what we're not going to do is keep following someone else's advice when deep down we feel it's not working, just because they're an authority figure. Even with authority figures and teachers, we have to be discerning. So remember that whoever's plan you're sticking to, whoever's study plan, whoever's course, whoever's advice you're sticking to, at the end of the day, it needs to pass through your own filter of like, does this work for me? Does this feel right for me? And if you come to the conclusion that you're going to do something a bit different, non-conforming, even the opposite, that is very okay. As long as you're not hurting yourself. It's very okay. All right, so finally we have your cards for spiritual and personal growth, which you're doing a lot of this month. This is like in a reading where we're talking so much about your empowerment, like owning your personal power. To get the King of Wands at the end, that's so badass. And it's fire, and like that was your skunk, fire. Natural born leader, get things going, entrepreneur, charismatic, free thinker. Yeah, you're a free thinker, non-conforming, successful, passionate, visionary, creative, and savvy. For your oracle card, we have cinnamon. Ooh, very fiery, very fiery energy for my group number 2s. And we have the energy of intimacy. Aw, you're getting so cozy with yourself. And I love that for you. The trigger statement is, this is too good to be true. The true statement is, it can only get better. I love that. The King of Wands in this deck, it says Aries. Personally, I associate the King of Wands with Sagittarius. That's just how I learned it. Like, I learned kings are mutable signs, which that could be a sign for some of you. Like, if you learn something a different way and it works for you, keep doing that. Anyway. So when I see King of Wands, I think Sagittarius. And I feel like this is such a Saggy energy too, because Sagittarius is all about expansion and knowing that the sky's the limit when it comes to how much abundance you want, when it comes to the blessings you want to experience. 33 as I'm saying this. The sky is the limit. And I was just listening to a collective reading. By the way, the channel is Anakin's Insights, who I really enjoy. And he was saying, or encouraging that collective to talk to the universe, like, show me how good it can get. Because the universe loves to bless us, and the universe loves to give us more and more. And I think a lot of the time, we feel, there's that message about feeling selfish when you prioritize yourself, feeling selfish when you choose your journey and to answer your calling and ignore the rest, to really focus and hone in on what you want. Okay, maybe it is selfish, but who said you can't be selfish? It's not, because I truly believe that when you commit to your life purpose, that's how you best serve the collective. But even if it was selfish, what's so bad or scary about that? You're allowed to prioritize yourself. Orange is coming through as another lucky color for you. So we had black, orange, and blue. Sorry, I feel like I'm going on tangents, but basically, to reframe our relationship with the universe and understand that we don't need to feel bad for asking for what we want, and that we can expect better and better things to happen to us. And the universe loves to Prove us right, I'm hearing. Like, universe, show me how it gets better. Show me how much better it can get. Like, I'm so excited to see that and to approach it from that joyful and optimistic place. That's your personal and spiritual growth this month. Why am I mispronouncing so many words? I'm so sorry. Allow yourself to experience more joy and love. And the thing is, when you start blocking out all of the energy of the bullshit around you, it frees up a lot of your bandwidth to choose to experience more joy. Raise your resonance by swimming in the sweetness of life. Life feels good. And the King of Wands, so often I see it as someone who is just focused on themselves and focused on doing their own thing. Their own personal goals, their own personal growth. It's about time. It's high time, I'm hearing. I don't even know if that's an expression. It's about time that you do that for yourself, because that's what you truly deserve. If you do readings for yourself or you're watching other readings, look out for the King of Wands, because I do feel that he represents you, or he represents an aspect of you that wants to come out more. And in general, I would say your fire placements want to be expressed more, whether they're in Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. They want to be expressed more. Yeah. I think that's all the messages for my group number 2s. So thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I really loved your energy. Yeah, thank you for letting me do this reading for you. I wish you a wonderful month of March. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch over 100 exclusive timeless readings, just like the ones on my channel. And we also do 2 new ones every month, and you can choose the topic for those. So I'll have that link down below. It's a great time over there. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I just had a visual of like confetti bursting out of something, like a celebration, like wee. Feels very exciting. Congratulatory, maybe. Maybe you're being celebrated. Anyway, all that stuff is going to be linked down below if you'd like to find me elsewhere. And thank you so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here. And I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, to anyone who appeared in this reading, to their higher self, and to your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 3s. So if you guys chose the Sodalite, this is going to be a reading all about your month of March 2025. I wanted to start off by just sharing an intuitive message that was coming through. So before I started filming for this group, the words bare minimum came to my mind. And this may seem like kind of a weird message, because I feel like we tend to use the phrase bare minimum in like a negative context, but the message that came through was that there's a certain situation for my group number 3s where it is okay for you to do the bare minimum and you don't need to do more. If you're doing more because you genuinely want to, then I think that's a different story. But if you are doing more because you feel like you have to, or there's a pressure or a fear there, I think Spirit is saying it's quite all right. In fact, for some of you, you need to know that you're actually expected to do the bare minimum and there's not more being expected of you. For some of you, the message might even be, if the bare minimum is all you can do this month, that's totally okay. So I think this is meant to be a reassuring message and ease worries for my group number 3s. So let's get into your cards. We are going to start off with this card from the Guidance from Gaia Oracle. And this is going to represent your main theme of March 2025. So we have the Guidance of the Tiger, and this is associated with the element of fire and the number 22. And the affirmation says, I embrace my sensual side and honor my true divine nature. And I want to read this from the guidebook as well, because this is my first time using this deck. So your category of cards, the element of fire, it's associated with mental energy. And our tiger, number 22, is on page 107 and 108. So the keywords are adventurous, dignity, and sexuality. Adventure is calling. This is the focus of the fierce tiger, quiet and calculating when necessary, though honest and loyal. The tiger moves through life with a focused intention to follow through on and complete all important things. Because the tiger can become too serious at times, it is important to access the inner child within who wants more excitement in life. If you feel like your life has become a routine, the tiger comes to you as a reminder to get out of your comfort zone. The tiger symbolism could also be suggesting that you tap into your sensual side more often in the same way that you follow your heart when you go on a new adventure. You can call passion in all areas of your daily routine. Get in touch with your inner tiger's energy and embrace your sexuality. Use your senses to feel more positive in your body and wear clothing that feels good and expresses your true self. Sexuality does not have to be hidden, nor does it have to be boisterous or egotistical. We all have both masculine and feminine energies within, so this guide of Gaia asks you to get comfortable in your own skin and balance both aspects of your highest self. So for the shadow side of this card, we have overwhelmed, angry, scattered. The illuminated side is passionate, strong, seductive. To bring into alignment, explore your sensuality by doing something that brings you immense pleasure, whether in the form of practicing self-care, touching new textures, looking for pleasing sights, and so on. And then the affirmation is the same one that is on the card. It's interesting that we do have fire energy here, because when I read this passage, it reminds me a lot of Taurus energy. So you could have Taurus placements, or maybe there's some special Taurus people in your life. But just this idea of enjoying your physical vessel and enjoying the sensory experience that is life, going to see pretty sights, listening to music that you like, enjoying new textures, enjoying new foods. Like, I feel like that passage was a lot about enjoying the five senses. There were messages about sensuality and sexuality, which you can interpret as is, or interpret in different ways if that makes you more comfortable. For example, just the energy of feeling comfortable in your own skin, of embracing your creativity as well, and embracing your vitality and physical energy. Fire signs could also be significant. People born on the 22nd. Also, someone born in the year of the tiger could be significant. The first year of the tiger that comes to mind is 1998, but anything plus or minus 12 from that is the year of the tiger. I'm also thinking of the song Eye of the Tiger. Okay, so let's look at some more oracle cards to get messages about your main themes for March. An unexpected happiness. Ooh, okay. Just going off of that sensual message with an unexpected happiness, you might unexpectedly find something that you really, really enjoy in the month of March. So for example, you might discover a new genre of music that you're like, oh my gosh, I've never heard anything like this before. This is so freaking cool. Or maybe you go out in nature and you see plants that you've never seen before, or you see a type of butterfly that you've never seen before and it's really, really beautiful. Or you discover a scent that you really enjoy, a fragrance or a food, or like new bed sheets, and you didn't know this type of textile existed. Like, there could be something about finding sensory experiences that are really, really enjoyable for you. Maybe even a way of moving your body that you didn't know you would enjoy so much. Because things like exercise, dancing, movement, that can also be like a sensual or sensory experience. So we have this message of an unexpected happiness. My path is smooth and filled with joyous surprises. I am getting the sense, group number 3, that this can be an easy month for you. I feel like there's a message here to just focus on the important things, what needs to get done, and don't worry about doing any more than that. I don't know why it's coming through like that, but I feel like this is really not a month to stretch yourself too thin and try to be an overachiever. There's definitely a time and place for that. Don't get me wrong. Like, we love the ambitious spirit. We love, you know, stretching the boundaries of what we can do and pushing ourselves to get a goal done. But I feel like this month, the message from your spiritual team is just focus on like the bare minimum of what needs to be done, and do that really, really well. And don't worry about trying to stretch yourself further or spread yourself too thin. Owls could be a significant spirit animal for you. Also, the way the owl is holding the key, it is making me think of wisdom. And maybe I'm taking this too literally, but with the tent here, there could be confirmation for some of you about like camping or a camping trip or a temporary living situation or a temporary lodging situation. Like, for example, you could be spending a few days away at a friend's house or with family, or spending some time in a hotel. Yeah, like temporary living situation is coming through. We also have, yeah, that's so funny. Like, we're literally talking about being comfortable. Whoop. Okay, lots of focus on the body and feeling good in your body. Your physical health could be improving this month. And I feel like that does have to do with resting well, moving your body, doing things you enjoy. And also, this not spreading yourself too thin, I think, is going to do wonders for your physical energy and how good your body feels. This could also be a reassuring message for some of you about your health improving in March, or the health of a loved one improving. And also just thinking about the bare minimum, bare bones, like the bread and butter of something, the most important thing of something. I feel like agate is such a classic, like it's everywhere. It's so common. It's prolific is not the right word, but like, it's just such a bread and butter stone, if that makes sense. I hope that I'm explaining that well. You know, like quartz, Calcite, jasper, like it's everywhere. It's so Julia kind of vibes. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but like, if you're learning about crystals, you're going to learn about agate like very early on. She's iconic. She's everywhere. So that could be another confirmation of just focusing on the important things in the month of March. Sorry, I feel like that was a really weird explanation, but hopefully that makes sense to somebody. And then for your Moonology card, we have expect powerful change with the new moon eclipse, which is happening in the month of March, because I just looked that up for a previous group in this reading. There is going to be a solar eclipse on March 29th. So around the end of the month could be very significant for you. And we have this message of expect powerful change. And I think there's definitely going to be powerful changes in the way you experience joy and in your health, in your overall well-being. And this goes for physical and mental, because we have healthy body here, but also, as the guidebook said, these fire cards are associated with mental energy. So there's going to be powerful progress in your physical and mental health. And I think life is going to become a lot more enjoyable when you can get to this place where you are locked in and focused on what really matters, and you're doing what really matters really well, and the rest can just like fly away. You're getting really good at prioritizing what's important and sticking to it. Maybe that's that eye of the tiger, like you're locked in and focused on that. So let's look at your tea leaf cards to see what else you need to know about the month of March. We have handshake. A meeting with a stranger could be important. We have dog barking, advice from a friend. And we have success. Okay, these go together in a kind of cool way. It seems like you're going to have an important, I dare say, fated encounter with a stranger. And what I'm hearing immediately is they won't feel like a stranger for long. Maybe they never feel like a stranger. Maybe you meet someone for the first time and they immediately feel familiar, because I feel like this advice from a friend is talking about the same person. So you could be meeting someone new in the month of March and they immediately feel like a friend, and they are freely sharing advice with you that is going to lead to your success. There's something about them. They're sharing tips with you or sharing guidance with you that is really, really valuable, that could save you a lot of time of trial and error, and that could even save you money. Maybe this person has already done all the trial and error and seen, oh, that was a waste of money. Oh, that was a waste of my efforts. And so they can give you guidance on what is best to do and also what is best not to do. Like, don't make the same mistake that I did kind of vibes. Their advice is saving you a lot of time, money, resources, that kind of thing. And maybe it's even that it's kind of rare to get information and tips like this for free. Like, the fact that they're just openly sharing it with you is really special. And it's probably because on their end as well, they immediately see you as a friend. There's something about the way you connect energetically that you just immediately hit it off and you feel like close friends, because dog energy really feels like a long time loyal companion to me, almost even like bestie energy. So I think my group number 3 is you're meeting someone new and becoming fast friends with them, and they're really going to be helping you out this month. And I'm sure later on in your relationship you'll be able to help them back, but I think that the month of March is all about you receiving this help and guidance. Okay, so that concludes the general overview part of your reading. So we're going to move into the specific areas of your life now. So I have 1 tarot card and 1 oracle card each for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. So let's start with your love life and relationships. For your tarot card, we have the 7 of Wands, and this is in the upright position. This deck has keywords for both, so I'm just going to keep it however it comes out. For you guys, it's in the upright, and the keyword is worth fighting for. Make a stand, face it head on. It's my life. I'm thinking of the Bon Jovi song immediately. Don't back down. Haters gonna hate. Oh my gosh. And liberty. Okay. Eagles. This is a Leo card, so people with Leo placements could be significant. Scorpio placements as well. The eagle is making me think of Scorpio. So a lot of fixed signs coming through, because we were talking about Taurus as well. So maybe fixed signs in general are going to be significant for you this month. So anybody with Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius placements. And fixed, okay, so relationships are going to be stable. This is not a month where you are going to be dealing with flippy floppy people. If you are currently dealing with someone who's being vague with you, like sitting on the fence with you, that is ending in March. They're gonna make a decision. You know, like when people are hot and cold and it's like, do you want to be in my life or not? Like, make up your mind. Or is this going to move to something more consistent or not? Any confusion like that is coming to an end in March. Wishy-washy people are going to make up their mind. They're going to make a decision and they're going to stick to it. Or maybe you'll make the choice for them. But we're not... this is a strong message from your spiritual team. For you, for your well-being, we are not bringing wishy-washy energy into the year. It's interesting I'm talking about new year. Perhaps we are thinking of like the beginning of Aries season as the new year, because it's the spring equinox. It's kind of like the beginning of the seasonal year, if that makes sense, the beginning of the zodiac wheel. And somehow this feels like a new year for you, group number 3, when Aries season starts. Like maybe just energetically, maybe for this group, like January 1st didn't really feel like a new beginning, but the beginning of Aries season will. Maybe that's just for some of you. And this eclipse is right around the start of Aries season as well. It's about a week after. So I think for my group number 3's Aries season is the start of the new year, and your spiritual team is saying we are not bringing flip-flop wishy-washy energy into the new year. We're not messing with that. So if anybody in your life has been behaving that way, either they are going to finally make their decision, and I'm hearing come correctly towards you, or you just won't be dealing with them. I also feel like any decisions you have to make about your own path in March, you're gonna have that strong clarity to make a decision. Things are gonna feel settled by the end of this month, and you know very well what you desire and what direction you're headed in. And for your oracle card, we have lemongrass. The keyword is declutter. The trigger statement is, I made so many mistakes. The true statement is, I let it all go. Everything you have done up to this point is leading you to where you need to be. Let go of the past and be here now. Ooh, okay. There's like a relationship in your life that someone is realizing it is worth fighting for. Maybe this is both of you. This will likely be a relationship that has not been easy, where mistakes have been made on both sides. And maybe this is where some of the flip-flop energy has been coming from, because I feel this energy of someone being like, oh, this is too far gone. We're not going to be able to move past this. We're not going to be able to fix this. I'm hearing things will never be the same as they were before with this person. And someone's just having a sudden, very strong realization of like, no, I want to fight for this relationship. I want to keep this person in my life. Yes, mistakes have been made in the past. Maybe like someone has been hurt in the past, but we can overcome it. We can let go and move on from the past, because like I'm willing to do that, and you're worth it. And whatever caused these mistakes to be made, I'm willing to work on that and fix that. Yeah, I do feel like this is you and someone else. You're both realizing that a connection is really, really special to you and it's worth fighting for. Even if you're not going to be able to exactly go back to the old dynamic exactly as it was before, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's time to embrace that this relationship is going to be different. It's going to evolve. It's going to change shape. And because I know it's worth it to fight for you, I embrace whatever new version of us we're going to emerge as we move forward together. That's really beautiful. Okay, so for your career and studies, for your tarot card, we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. It says devoid of emotion, and there's that Aquarius energy. So fixed signs. Something about fixed signs this month is significant for my group number 3s. Harsh, pessimistic, critical, clouded vision, abrupt, gossip, scattered, easily influenced, and calculating. For our oracle card, we have, okay, something about lemon is significant too. We have lemongrass, and then we have lemon eucalyptus. And the keyword is sovereignty. The trigger statement is, what will they think? The true statement is, I navigate through life with ease. Now you must claim your energetic independence. Cut the cords to lower vibrations. It is time to ascend. You know what, group number 3? I know this is in the reverse position, and some of the keywords sounded kind of negative, and it says devoid of emotion, but I don't know, feels like a strength to me for my group number 3s in your, ooh, okay. I wonder if for some of you, this is going back to that bare minimum message, because I do feel, and 7 of Wands kind of talks about this too, I do feel that some of you do tend to spread yourself too thin. And I just heard overpromise. Overpromise what you can do for others, overpromise the amount of work you can get done. And that may actually come from an emotional or a sentimental place, because you want to please the other person. You don't want to disappoint the other person, or you want to make it easier on the other person. Like, oh, my coworker has a lot going on. I feel bad for them. Okay, I'll take on some of their work. The Queen of Swords, who is more emotionally detached, will be like, we all have a lot going on, so I'm just going to do what I'm supposed to do and nothing more. I think in this case, bare minimum is just the work that was assigned to you, or the work that you got paid to do. You may have this like urge within you to go the extra mile, go the extra mile. And like I said in the beginning, if that's coming from a place of genuinely wanting to go the extra mile, like that's actually what you desire, then yes, go the extra mile. But I feel like many of you are doing that. Like you don't really want to. You may even feel like it feels bad in your body when you do it, but it's like this, you just have to, because you feel bad for the other person. Or maybe it's I feel like, I don't want to say people pleaser. Somehow I feel like that word could be triggering to some people in this group. But yeah, like just this urge to make the other person happy, or I'll make it harder on myself if it means that it's easier for you. And like, what is that based on? Like, we all have hard work to do. We all have a lot going on. This might be a decision of like, I'm no longer going to take on a workload that was never mine to deal with, or I'm just going to do what I'm getting paid to do, which is like very fair and very logical. Some of you may have, I think the expression is have your finger in a lot of pies. Like maybe you volunteer in many different places, or you have a lot of extracurriculars going on. And I just heard roped into it. I'm seeing someone who became the president, the president of the debate club, or started tutoring or started coaching a sports team. And it's like, oh, what made you do that? And it's like, I don't know. I just kind of got roped into it. And the next thing I knew, I'm organizing like 15 bake sales, and I'm raising money for this charity, or like 6 charities. It's like, it just feels like an energy of someone who's spread it too thin. And when it comes down to it, maybe it comes from a compassionate place, it does come from wanting to help people, but the Queen of Swords needs to be a little bit more harsh. The Queen of Swords can really come off as a harsh energy, like almost cold. And maybe you will feel like that when you start to cut things away. But I do feel like there's some responsibilities or commitments that you can step down from. I want to say you can, because I think it's important to give yourself permission and know that it's very understandable. Like, yeah, I'm not surprised you're letting go of one of your roles. You're doing so much. I think it will be very understandable if you step down from certain roles, or if you don't take on certain responsibilities anymore. Maybe it's coming through as sort of negative keywords because that's how you might be feeling on the inside. A classic example of this is when someone finally starts to implement boundaries, they often feel like the villain. They often feel like the bad guy and feel like they're being selfish and mean, when that's not the case at all. They're just finally standing up for themselves. So, and yeah, sovereignty, like energetic sovereignty, that feels like implementing boundaries as well. Yeah, it's time to cut the cords, claim your energetic independence. Okay, so finally, we are going to look at your cards for spiritual and personal growth. For your tarot card, wow. We have the 10 of Wands in the upright, heavy load. It's literally everything we're talking about. Brink of collapse, responsibilities, over the limit, overwhelmed, almost there, overloaded, done. In caps, done. I'm hearing just because you can, it doesn't mean you should. Just because you can carry such a heavy load, it doesn't mean you should. And for your Oracle card, we have another blue one. Sorry, that was dramatic. I didn't mean to like pound on the desk so hard. Lemon and cleansing. And I feel like lemon is used in a lot of cleaning products, or at least the scent of lemon. But lemon feels like purifying. Purification. Their opinion matters to me is the trigger statement. The true statement is, I see things in a new way. As you release external influences and energy, you will become clear with regard to what is needed. These are very similar trigger statements. Wow, look at all these trigger statements. I made so many mistakes. What will they think? Their opinion matters to me. The true statements, I let it all go. I navigate through life with ease. I see things in a new way. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on this group. There's a lot of pressure, and there doesn't need to be. Just because you can, it doesn't mean you should. As you release external influences and energy, you will become clear with regard to what is needed. So that means that a lot of what you are carrying in this heavy load is not needed. I think in terms of your spiritual and personal growth, you are taking stock at this point on your journey of what you are carrying with you and asking yourself, why am I carrying this? Do I need to carry this? Learning to travel lighter, so to speak. And this is something that takes time, and it takes trial and error. I'm thinking about myself because as someone who travels back and forth between Canada and Japan a lot, you start to get a handle, no. You start to get a sense of what you need to pack and what you don't need to pack. And in the beginning days, I used to overpack so much. And it's always out of fear, you know? When you're going on a trip for 3 days and you pack 10 outfits, I feel like a lot of the time that's out of fear because you're like, oh, but I might need this one. You're not like, yeah, let me bring all these clothes. Yeah. Well, actually, let me not speak for everybody, but I feel like this is out of fear. Let me bring 20 outfits because you never know what, like, something might happen. We might be going to this kind of place and I might need this. I don't want to be left with nothing to wear. It's like fear-based. Like, I'll take more and more and more just in case. But after a few times of traveling, you realize, I think I'm going to wear these big clunky boots, but I'm not. I'm going to leave them here. Or in my case, I don't need to bring 20 Oracle decks. I can just use a few. I don't need to bring all of these electronic devices in my carry-on and make it 87 pounds. I can leave some of these here. You get a sense after time of what you actually need to be carrying and what you don't. And I think in your case, this analogy applies to responsibilities that you've taken on. You're realizing what you don't need. So this is a month of your load becoming much lighter. The load that you are carrying into the new year, so to speak, that I feel starts in Aries season for you guys in April maybe. And actually that makes sense because I think like in Japan, definitely, but maybe in some other countries, the school year or fiscal year starts in April. I don't know why it took me that long to remember that, but it makes sense. You're going in with a much lighter load, for sure. And you're going to see the difference it makes on your health, your physical health and your mental health. And I don't want this to be like a scary or threatening message, but that can be a message of the 10 of Wands, is like, we are over capacity right now. And if we keep going this way, we might get sick. So yeah, I feel like it's really a simple message. It's lightening your load, improving your health, and going into April, going into the spring season with a refreshed and rejuvenated energy and a renewed sense of what is truly important. No more flip-flopping energy. You're not dealing with that from other people either. And there's a lot of clarity of the direction you're headed, which means that you will not get roped into things anymore. It's like, you know, I'm at point A, I'm going to point B. So as you're going on this journey, people can't pull you like, hey, come over and do this side quest for me. Hey, come over here and do this for me. You're like, no, I'm going to point B. I know what direction my life is headed in. So I'm not going to get like, maybe I should get involved in this activity. Maybe I should help with this project. Like, your energy is going from being scattered to like laser focused. Yeah. Okay, group number 3s, I think those are all the messages for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching. And of course, a wonderful month of March. I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where we now have over 100 exclusive timeless readings, just like the ones here on my channel. And we also have 2 new ones every month, and you can choose the topic for those. So I will have that link down below. It's a great time over there. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I will also have my latest release link down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, to anyone who appeared in this reading, to their higher self, and to your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.